Hello, my name is Nik Velinov, and I'm a tech guy in my bones and spirit. I'm here today with my friend from childhood, then my brother-in-law, and now a co-founder of Briqo, a wonderful man, passionate and dedicated to make a difference in people's lives. And we're both here today to talk about Briqo. What is it? What is its purpose? Why did we start it? Why are we so passionate about it? And why do we believe that it's important for you as well? And why do we think that you should partner with us and to grow this in a mission together? We hope that this is just the beginning of a conversation that we can start and a journey that we can embark together. We will probably not cover everything here, but we hope that your feedback, your comments and questions that you can send us will start a conversation where we can start to know each other a little bit more and eventually embark together in a mission. So, Boyan, before we get into some details about who we are, about Briqo and etc., maybe we can start with some short thoughts on why this is important to us and why are we so excited?
Well, hi, Nick, and hi to all of our audience. It is exciting for me to venture on this journey together, maybe for a bit of a different reason, because I'm not a tech guy, professionally anyway. But technology has always excited me because I've realized that it brings so much assistance and could be so beneficial in my own life as an individual and also as professional. Today, more than ever, technology has convinced us that it not only has played a major role, but will continue to play a big part in who we are as a society and in our future. So for me, again, as I have journeyed through my life, I have had to figure out ways to, rather than being scared of the changes and disruptions that technology brings in my life, to actually find ways to adopt it and find a positive way to apply it and benefit from it in my life. So as a professional who works with people, who deals with leaders, as well as a professional coach, it's the reality that every person I talk to deals with. Technology is not only present, but it is a huge influence in what we do and how we live. Recently, I heard this tech guys talking about, like, in 7 years, we're going to have humanoid robots. Each one of us is going to have our personal humanoid robot. And I have to be honest, it scares me. So I guess my hope is that as we start this Briqo journey with this tech space, we can excite people to not be scared to venture into technology. Yes, of course, a primary purpose is for us to reach out to a generation that hopefully we can excite to, adopt technology as part of their even professional journey, become developers and so on. But I also hope that Briqo can impact people like me, the non-professional, who are more on the consumer side, and just to help me figure out a way to see the benefit of it and adopt it in my life rather than shun it away.
I'm glad you're not scared from technology anymore, but okay, there is a disclosure that we need to make at this point as well that I think it's important. And we're both Christians. You are actually a pastor, and this is an important engine for what we do. It's not, again, to make it a Christian propaganda or anything like this, but I believe it's important because this is a testimony to our passion to help people, right? To build better communities, to support and empower each other. I think this is in the core of our holistic approach to this project as well.
Yes, so it is interesting because my philosophy of ministry has always been that the church is like a good neighbor. You don't live there just to have a good time with those around you, but when you are gone, people say, man, we miss what you brought in our lives. So as we talk about ministry, or that's kind of more of a church term or engagement in the life of the community, we hope that our ministry could have a similar impact, and Briqo is part of that. it is a way to engage the tech subsector of our community right here where we are around the I-270 corridor, which is called the Tech Corridor of North DC, and find ways to inspire the next generation of young people who are going to become the next professionals in the tech industry. But as we help them develop skills, we also want them to grow as professionals who develop high characters with high morals and great ethic principles that they can incorporate in their work. So technology not only continues to advance our lives, but does it in a way that positively impacts everyone in our society. So I know that you look at it maybe a bit differently because you're more of the tech professional.
Well, we'll talk, I guess, yes. I would like to go more into what we want to do with Briqo and our philosophy exactly on the tech side of it. But as we're talking now more about us, or why this is important for us and why we are doing it, for me, from my professional background, I've been in technology for over 30 years. And I am a geek. I like technology, but it has never been just about the technology per se. It's always been about its purpose. I want to solve problems. Actually, one of my first company that I still do certain things with, it's called Appropriate Solutions. It's my focus on everything has been to find solutions to real life problems in different industries, in different things. Lately, now I'm working for a pension fund. Before that, I've been working for trading desks, and doing lots of complicated workflows and automating systems and stuff like this. But it has always been how technology can make things easier, more efficient, and so forth. And there is something even very passionate in the whole life cycles or even frameworks and principles that the developers community has built, even how to approach problems, how to build sustainable solutions, how to be agile in requirements. And it's a very passionate world. I believe it will be a great adventure as we start doing certain things and exposing some of the younger people and younger developers or students into this world, because it opens a complete new world of opportunities as well as a way to look at life and so forth. And my passion also in my life has always been in building teams. From my very young age, it has been in building teams, even for the youth, in the professional settings and so forth, and empowering these teams, right, and to be able to be productive, to be able to be creative, facilitating them in various objectives and things like this. So this is pretty much where I come from, with a tech background, passionate about the tech solutions, finding creative solutions to real life problems, and in the same time having experience in a team environment. Talking now about what we bring to the table as we start this project. So we have a tech background, we have a community building backgrounds, we have passion for holistic approach. We both kind of like to work with teams and build teams. But let's just say some words about the rest of our teams. We have a group of other volunteers that embarked already in this journey with us.
Yeah, and it's interesting how, this vision kind of engages not only people who are tech people or, like gadget kind of freaks like me. I've always enjoyed, getting into everything new that comes out. But we have attracted people. We have an accountant with us who is very passionate to help us on the financial side of things. We have a board member who works for a very large financial company as well. So this project has attracted people from different backgrounds and with different experience, because even though people with tech background are tremendously valuable, those of us who have non-technological professional expertise can help keep the vision of Briqo relevant to the general community out there in our desire to bring and impact their lives with a better understanding of technology as well. And also, if there are people who just want to volunteer with administrative work, there is room in this project for people with various expertise and skills to get involved.
So I think we have a good base. We have, I believe, a needed expertise. We have the passion. We have a good team and good setup to actually get us started. We are registered as a non-profit organization already. We have our official status. We have a really good setup to start. But our mission in this endeavor is not about just us. It's about a community. It's about all of us. We cannot do it together. It's bigger than any of us. And this is where we really need you. We really need to expand our partnerships, to expand our volunteers, our expertise in all levels. So we really have, this is a big part of where we are kind of trying to
We
look
have
at this
room for
point.
you.
Yes. So let's talk now more about Briqo itself, about our philosophy, how we are trying to achieve it, and so forth. One thing I want to clarify at the beginning, we are not just another STEM school or things. I mean, STEM, it's a big thing for us, right? Again, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are all very important parts. And again, coding, technology, developments are the heart of everything. But we don't want to be kind of another training school or anything like this. Our philosophy more is a hands-on approach. We want to build things together. We want to have a team environment. We want to have a place to talk about things, conversations, to build things together. So there are three main elements in our approach in Briqo. One is, yes, the tech education, but again, not just learning as a school, but by doing things. We want to build conversations around technical topics and how it affects society in their development and everything like this. And as well, collaboration in a way where we want to be engaged in open source projects. So let's just spend a little time, Boyan, if you want, on talking a little bit more about each one of these aspects and starting maybe from the educational part, right?
Yeah. And it's interesting in our conversations how we have moved away from even the term school, because we don't want this to be, like you said, a school. We're thinking more of it as a space. It's an environment that we create where, yes, next generation of younger people and adults as well could learn skills. But it is not about the skills. It is about learning how to go beyond that, how to be present and function in an environment where you can create, you can give your best, working and collaborating with everyone else on the team. So again, it's not about learning a skill. It's about building something together, and the skills comes almost as a tool that you will need to accomplish that team project together. How would you describe it?
Well, this is actually, I think, a very big and important point for me, because being blessed with the opportunity to work in a very good team of developers in a professional environment, I think gave me things that I, at some points, took for granted until I faced it that, again, solo developers normally don't have this type of opportunity to really build something in a team. And this makes a huge difference, right? It's one thing to build things and just solve technological challenges on your own and being a geek. It's a completely different experience being part of an agile team. I mean, it opens again a whole new world of experiences. And I really hope that we can offer this experience to students and to young developers that are embarking in this journey, or anyone who hasn't have or has this opportunity and now want to help others, right, by being part of a team. We can bring all different type of skills, right, and skill levels into this team. Even if you are just contemplating to start, maybe you can find a team, find a place in when building something, maybe even just as an observer, maybe just to see what it is all about, learning the agile frameworks, then learning some specific skills that you would like to build. So we're not going to just say, here you go, we have a class on HTML or class on Python, or let's say a class on large language models. We can do this as well. But there is so much educational material already out there, right? We don't want to replace that. It's not a competition to us. We're not competition to that. We want to use all the resources available outside, things that you can learn on your own, or bring the things that you already learned on your own outside. What we want to create is an environment where we can come and build something together. And in the process of building, we learn much more than just specific skills, right? We build experience in making a project, overcoming challenges, collaborating with each other. So in this aspect, I believe this is a rich value to what we want to build as a space. As you mentioned, Boyan, it's not a school, it's a tech space, what we want to build. Yeah?
Yeah, what I remember earlier in your career when we were visiting over a holiday, and you started talking about the agile framework. And I just remember how intrigued I was because there are so many principles of that could be applied in other areas of life. Project that I was working with in my nonprofit as a nonprofit leader and with nonprofit teams. So it is. I think it will bring. I see the value in this as well, not only for those coming to learn just the tech skills, but learning those skills outside of the tech tools, right? Is going to could be of great value to these young people as they grow up in any direction that they take in their professional choices, even if they decide not to be a developer.
And this is a key point, yes. And I'm glad you brought it up, because I think I want to as well accent a little bit on it. Even if you are not a geek per se, right? Or you have the skills to really start in coding certain things. If you are passionate about solving real life problems, right? With the use of technology, I think, and again, learning about this process and stuff, this can be a real good space for you. And I think it's a good transition as well to the other element, right? To other building block of our philosophy, the conversations. Because yes, we want to build these teams in this environment to learn by building, but we also want to talk about, the technology has evolved so much and is growing so much, so fast that, yeah, some people are concerned, scared. There is the understanding about it. It's actually the lack of understanding is creating perceptions or fear that maybe shouldn't be there, or maybe it is. So I think there is a good important space for conversations to talk about the challenges that the rapid advancement of technology brings, how it affects our societies. I mean, I've heard so many people saying, I don't know what my kids should go to university for if AI is going to replace us all. I mean, what are the important skills for today, right? And things like this. So I think there is a good need to have some conversations like that.
Well, I was one of these people, who will be scared at times or have questions about, AI. And I will, how many times I've come to you and try to find, more information about it, because it's true. Yes, some things, when we just hear them for the first time, especially when it's connected to a big change in our lives, it scares us. And I know that every time I've talked to you or somebody else who is knowledgeable in this area, knowledge brings peace, helps me adapt, helps me see, the benefit of technology in this case, rather than being afraid of it. A good example is AI. For a long time, again, my wife is a teacher, and she will tell me how kids are plagiarizing, and they have ChatGPT write their essays. And I was like, ChatGPT? I didn't even know what ChatGPT was. How are they using it? And then I remember looking at it and feeling a bit uncomfortable. Well, why would I ask someone else to write something for me? Until you kind of realize how to use it as a tool and how beneficial it could be in your life. Just there's so many of those artificial intelligence models out there, as an example, that a lot of us, the regular people, are not aware of. But there is also people in the technology world. I have good friends who they question the impact of AI for their future. Just having these conversations, open conversations, we can help through them. We can help each other feel more comfortable, find solutions, or maybe discuss real issues and challenges that we should address as society today, but also our kids should address in the future as they're trying to solve world problems using AI or, this type of technology.
Exactly. I believe that conversations are essential part of our journeys, right? And this is our way as we move on. And this, I think, brings us to the next a very important part of our philosophy and the space that we want to become, to be a place for collaborations. I mean, again, there's so many things you can do alone on your own as a developer. There's so many intriguing things. I would say it's good to be a gig, but the capability, a possibility to build something with other people. I think this is again an amazing experience. And for a big part of my career as well, I had so many ideas about kind of an open source projects or projects that I believe are interesting or good to build, but they're too big for us one person, for one developer. I did some I just tried and failed and so forth. But this is where I think having the opportunity to build this type of place where we can come together and get excited about building something together. I see a really big potential in this as well.
And the value of a team, just the value of learning how to, that we can accomplish more together than by ourselves is such an integral part of this process as well. And it's applicable, it's a skill that you have to adopt very early in life to become part of your work culture. Because yes, we do tend to be a little bit more isolated. And of course, as an industry, developers tend to do a lot of work alone. So this aspect, this collaborative aspect of projects will, we hope, help create that culture of the importance of getting out of myself, and not only professionally, but also for good projects that can impact the community. Could be just an open projects for solving a community problem that I will never make a penny out of. But it is building that mindset that life is more than just me and maybe my workspace as well.
This is the richness of a community, right? Being together. And yes, there's certain things as well that we want to do as volunteers as well, certain projects that we want to just donate our time and things, but we also want to build sustainable projects. So being able to find funding even for some of them, it's much easier when you have a good group with good foundation rather than to be your own. And just to, again, throw in something into the whole mix, it's one of the new tendencies actually to build these decentralized communities where we don't have to trust the model or trust someone, but we trust the principles that bring us together, right? The values that unite us in this space, and learning and building things on the blockchain and building projects in, again, modern ways. I mean, this is an exciting area that we would like to as well grow and build and develop as a community, as a tech space. You want to do so.
We have also talked on, even on more from my perspective as a church planter and mission. I mean, it's applicable. Mission could be impacted by some of these decentralized models. And same thing could happen in so many different aspects of our social environment. So it is important to have these deep and impactful conversations, even to understand what technology can bring to us as a community.
Exactly. So, okay, I think we kind of talked about the essence and purpose of Briqo. We talked about us and why we're doing this, what do we bring on the table, the team and the infrastructure we have already kind of created and set up. We talked about our philosophy of what exactly we want to build. So I think now let's talk a little bit about what's the plan. How are we planning to get this ball rolling? Because so far, yes, we are at a place where we have registered, we have put a good foundation. I think we have some good expertise. We have kind of the idea, but how are we going to approach this big task to build this community now in front of us? And
the first step,
go ahead.
The first step that we have talked about is this project to impact 1,000 young people by the end of this year through the Briqo Tech projects. And tell us a little bit more about that, as you are the one who is kind of the brain behind the project camps that you are planning.
Well, okay, with every project that has some big ideas and goals, you have to start from somewhere that you can experiment, where you can adjust, where you can find support, where you can build your own, again, more expand your infrastructure. So yes, I believe that with this project that we have empower the next generation that we want to do between now and the end of 2024, the idea is to, yes, influence 1,000 kids in physically where we are currently located, in the specifically Rockville area in Maryland. We want to create a series of coding camps pretty much almost every weekend or most of the weekends from here, from September to December, create few hackathons, and as well start building on some of those conversations that we talked about. So we have a plan or schedule to do this on a regular basis. We're going to start promoting this, and we want to just bring as many kids, students, K-12, pretty much in, so we can hands-on experience what we are talking about. It's one thing to talk about things. It's different when you come and you try to experience it, right? So in a day, what can we build in a day in some of those camps that we want to build? So I think this is one of the first steps that we kind of have a tangible goal. And with this, I believe we're going to put a solid ground for solid programs from 2025 going forward. We want to have at this point regular STEM programs, regular conversations, build mode routines in a specific things that we can start building together with teams and so forth. So overall, I think this is our main first goal. Please, yes, go ahead.
And this will be projects that will involve a variety of things. It's not necessarily just a curriculum per se, but it will involve eventually getting into the world of AI, robotics, gaming, just developing, of course, gaining skills as developers and so on. But these camps are really to prepare us for what is coming in next year in 2025. So how can people support us?
Sorry, just before we move to the support, yes, I think it was a very good point here. So we want, with building this base, we also, an important part is we want to really build, yes, a strong and diverse team in every aspect. We talked about this in several other sections in these conversations already, but I just want to emphasize on this as well. As we strategize and build through this program, right, through these few months here till the end of the year, being able to build the team that can help us bring this to the next level, it's really very important.
Okay, and could you explain a little bit more about what do you mean by a diverse team?
Well, yes, diverse in
How do you envision it?
every possible aspect. I would think about it, because I think you mentioned many points that yes, we need technical expertise and we need technical people at any level, from even helping us in the networking setup, hardware setup, all these things that are base for an infrastructure to function, right? With developers, with different expertise, things that they can bring in to benefit us in building a project, something together. From creators with creative minds, having ideas about things that can be cool for people to engage and to build. From facilitators that can just be there in the process and be among the students and the kids to try to understand them personally more, so we can find a better way to involve them in the team and fit their needs. Because yes, this one more aspect I think in our approach. We don't want to have a box where we want to fit the people that come into this space. We want to learn about each one, about the skills that they currently have, the needs that they currently have, the passions that they have in the building, and see how we can, as a community, engage in a relationship, in building things that can benefit us in this whole journey, right? So at least this is where I see the diversity that you asked for.
We have also talked that as part of this project of tech camps, that we will start the open and important conversations between community and attendees And, I just wanted to add how just regular community leaders even can make us aware of things that the participants could become passionate about and come up with, creative solutions to benefit those needs that we would never be aware of unless these community people or influencers are there and bring them up to the attention of the group.
Exactly. And we need to build many relationships, right, in this. Again, one thing is we realize there is only so much we can do on our own, so we need a big team. But even the biggest team we can build, we cannot do this again alone. We want to build partnerships with schools, with other nonprofits, with corporations, with tech kind of companies and organizations, all kind of partnership. Not even just tech. I think you mentioned it can be community type of organizations with specific needs where technology can make a real impact and solution. So yes, we are scratching just the surface of some very big
pretty
things.
much
Yes.
anyone, anyone who is engaged and can contribute to this will be really valuable. So how can people find us and how can people join? How can they volunteer?
Yes, so Briqo.org, now Briqo with a Q. So our name is Briqo, and I think you should see it in everywhere in our branding. But it's a place where you can come and learn more about us and join us as volunteer. Please, there is a form, a volunteer form. You can just fill it up with some background and information about you. Tell us as much as you can, more about your passions, about your skills, about where you see yourself and things like this. This will help us a lot, right, as we try to build resources and accumulate resources, human resources, in planning and strategizing specifically our activities. And of course, the other part is financial, right? Your donation can make a huge impact. It's not not so much about a matter of how much, because anything helps. Just your involvement and your contribution. We're registered nonprofit, so we are tax deductible with your donations. And yes, this is a very, very important part. So sorry, you want to say something?
Oh, I was just going to mention about that the money we are raising goes straight into the program, right?
Yes.
Our goal is not, we both have our employment, other people who come and volunteer. Yes, there'll be some, of course, people who will be, reimbursed for what they do as work. But everything you donate is with the purpose of developing this vision and making an impact in the community. This is our passion. This is why we are starting this. And we just really hope that you will resonate with that vision. And if the vision resonates with you, go to the website, volunteer, we'll connect with you, we'll talk, join the conversations, help us build this future with Briqo.
Amen, in a sense. So, yes, I mean, if you made it so far in the video, I really would like to thank you for dedicating it, for investing in us in this conversation. I hope you found something interesting. I hope you find the value of what we are trying to build. I think humbly confessing in front of you that it's not a task that we can do alone, even with the greatest skills we can bring on the table. This is a journey. This is a challenge for a community, and we would like to get your support in building that.
Yeah, and we hope to continue the conversation in the future. So check the website from time to time. And again, we hope you follow us on our social media, and let's keep dreaming together.
Thank you.